Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the Cryptoverse. Today, we're going to talk about Bitcoin, and we're going to be providing an update to the bull market support band. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and check out the sale on Into the Cryptoverse Premium at intothecryptoverse.com. Again, my apologies for not providing more videos. You guys know I do like to provide videos on a daily basis on this channel. But for the last couple of weeks, I've been unable to do so. I've just been sick. It's not really any more complicated than that. I did go to the doctor and they just said I had a case of the bear market blues. So let us go ahead and jump in. Let's provide an update to the bull market support band. We're going to talk about this rally that we're looking at and the fact that the dominance has gone up a lot for Bitcoin. All right. So let's go ahead and jump in. So as of today, the bull market support band, which again, when we're in a bear market, you're better off thinking about it as what? The bear market resistance band. It currently ranges from approximately 37.6 to 37.8K. All right. So that's the line in the sand that we'd like to get above. Not just get above, right? Hold it as support. If we get a rally above, remember, it doesn't mean a thing if it doesn't have that sting, right? It doesn't mean anything. No one cares about it. No one's getting out of bed for it. We've seen these types of rallies before where they don't actually go that far above it. And when we go back down to hold the bull market support band as support, it just goes through it like it's not even there. All right. So remember that we need to get above it and hold it as support. Until then, you're better off thinking of it as the bear market resistance band. Now, one of the things that we talked about a week or so ago is we speculated on a lot of reasons why we could see a June rally by Bitcoin. Did we not? Right, a lot of different reasons why it seems like a June rally was in fact coming upon us. And now that we're in June, we can see that Bitcoin is more or less around the same price that it opened the month of June at, but the dominance is a lot higher, right? I mean, the dominance is now well over 47%. Now remember, the thesis that we are operating on right now is that in order for the market to be healthy, you want to see the Bitcoin dominance go up. So it doesn't really matter if Bitcoin goes left, right, up, down, right? It doesn't matter. Dominance likely goes higher, leading to further devaluation of the alt-Bitcoin pairs. All right. So Bitcoin right now is coming in at just over $31,000. The dominance is coming in over 47%. The dominance is likely heading a lot higher. I mean, I think a lot of people are sort of thinking that the dominance is just going to top out here. I feel like this. I think that the move by the Bitcoin dominance has only begun. I mean, we've talked about this for a long time, that it should ultimately head a lot higher, and this is likely just a higher low, and we have some sort of lift off here, just kind of like we had during the last cycle where we had a low and then a higher low and then we took off. I think we're seeing the same thing play out this time. All right, so. The Bitcoin dominance should ultimately go much higher. Now that we are looking at this relief rally, and we'll talk more about this if it continues to unfold, is you guys know the pattern, right? But it's been a while since we've really talked about it because of my case of the bear market blues. Now the idea, simply put, is that normally after Bitcoin puts in a lower low, it gets a relief rally, right? That's what usually happens. All right, it happened in 2014, it happened in 2018, and now the argument is that why not happen in 2022, right? Why, instead of assuming this time's different, why not just assume this time's the same, okay? So we saw the low, the higher low, the rejection off the 200-day, the failure to put in a higher low, the lower low, and then a rejection off the trend line that we were previously holding as support, which also had confluence at the 200-day moving average, okay? Now, remember, is it going to play out to a T this time the exact same way that it did last time? Probably not, right? If you try to take this to the bank and tell them to cash it in, I guarantee you they're not going to do it. But what I will say is we've followed this move for months now, and it's played out the exact same way, right? A low, a higher low, a rejection off the 200-day. Before we even saw this surge over here, we said, remember, rejections by the 200-day are very real in bear markets, and everyone has a plan until you get rejected by the 200-day moving average, okay? So we had the failure to put in a higher low following the rejection of the 200-day moving average. What came after that? A lower low, the same thing that happened back over here in 2018. And then what has historically happened after you put in your first lower low is you get a relief rally. Right? Like you get that relief rally back to the 200-day moving average or back to the uptrend line that we were previously holding as support. Okay, so today the 200-day SMA is coming in at around 41.7K, but it is moving down relatively quickly. I mean, if we were just to, dubiously extrapolate this out, which honestly I would not try that at home, because it's going to lead to some very interesting results if you get too cute trying to extrapolate these moving averages out. But you can see that by the middle of June, the 200-day moving average might be close to 40K. All right. So if we get a relief rally back up, you're going to want to watch that 200-day moving average. Okay. You're going to want to watch that because that is a line in the sand that we have to get back above. Okay. Now, one thing to remember in 2018, we saw continued rejection by the 200-day SMA. Not once, not twice, maybe twice, but you could argue a third time here, sort of, right? Maybe not really, but we almost got to it. And then we ultimately got above it on the fourth real attempt. Okay, so number one so far. Perhaps we'll have a second one coming in the next several weeks. And if that's the case, then be prepared for the 200-day. All right, I said this back in March, right? We said we're in a bear market. Don't assume we're just going to get above the bull market support band and hold it as support just because we did it last time. Listen, the 200-day held as resistance a few months ago. Could hold as resistance again. We're not saying that it has to, okay? So do remember that I do not operate deterministically about anything except for the fact that I think Bitcoin trends higher with time. Everything else is dubious speculation at its finest. And we just talk about, what we think is going to happen, the probabilities of those things happening. And again, one of the things we followed for a long time are these higher lows, followed by the rejection of the 200-day, the failure to put on a higher low, the lower low, and then the relief rally off the lower low. So the question now becomes, is this going to take us to the 200-day moving average, which means we go back up to the upper 30s? And it very well could. Looking at say like weekly candles, we finally ended our streak of 9 in a row. I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I was kind of rooting for number 10, just to know what it feels like to have 10 red weeklies in a row. But it looks like we'll have to kick that record down the road for some other bear market. So 9 reds in a row. We had a green, and now we're pushing back up. If we actually look at say like Heikin-Ashi candles, you can see that it's actually flipped green on the weekly as well. So listen, what I think people need to recognize right now is that the market has fundamentally changed from what you're likely used to, okay? So if you joined crypto in late 2020 or early 2021, really if you joined it in 2021, you've mostly seen Bitcoin lose value to the altcoins. But now you're witnessing something completely different, okay? What's going on? The dominance is going up regardless of the direction Bitcoin goes. We talked about this for months, right? We said, look, it doesn't really matter what way Bitcoin goes. Up, down, sideways, doesn't matter. Bitcoin dominance is going to go up either way. We're likely going to see it continue to soar for months to come. And do recognize that, just look at it, right? Bitcoin's up 5% on the day. The dominance is up. And you can see most everything else is down. A lot of the Bitcoin pairs are down. Ether Bitcoin is actually below 0.06. It's Bitcoin season, my friends, right? It's time to put on your maxi hats if you haven't already done so. Again, I'm not a Bitcoin maxi, but it's a maxi season time, right? It's maxi season. So, just bear with me until we get through this phase of the market. But the best thing you can do is just embrace it rather than fight it, right? And just recognize that that's the phase of the cycle that we're in, and try not to fight these trends. Just sort of embrace them and have your portfolio reflect what you think will likely happen in the market. And I think the dominance is going to go a lot higher regardless of the direction Bitcoin goes. And if Bitcoin does get a relief rally back up to this 200-day moving average, and if it gets rejected and it comes back down, guess what? All Bitcoin pairs are likely going to bleed even more. All USD pairs can put in a lower low. And if by some miracle the Fed pivots and we get back above the bull market support band and hold it as support, you're still likely going to be heavy Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin has to be healthy before the rest of the market's going to be healthy. Remember, alt season in 2021 did not occur until after Bitcoin really went on a parabolic rally. Now, some altcoins did relatively well. We followed some of those actually, but a lot of altcoins didn't go parabolic until after Bitcoin finished its parabolic rally. Okay, so I hope this is useful. These updates to the bull market support band, and then we just sort of speculate on a number of other things. But if you like the content, make sure you subscribe. Okay, let's go for 750,000 subscribers. We are almost there. It's a pretty big milestone. And do remember, we have the sale on Into the Cryptoverse Premium at intothecryptoverse.com. You will get access to the website. We have a lot of on-chain statistics, logarithmic regression, ROIs, derivative charts, social metric charts, NFT charts, you name it. We have Telegram alerts channel, Telegram chat room, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So check it out, intothecryptoverse.com. You can lock in the low rate for the sale that is currently going on. I think we will wrap it up there. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Bye.